Hello, this is Bunting, and today we discuss the art of the build-up. This tutorial is all about creating tension, not just through the corny EDM drum builds you hear in every song, but through any way we can, through synth risers, manipulating samples, through messing with their bass arrangement, and twisting plenty of audio effect knobs. Now, per usual, if you like these presets and this whole project file, those are all posted on the Patreon if you want to support me there. And I have a bonus treat, 10K subs. That's a really big number. Here's a bunch of free samples to celebrate. Hope you like them. All that stuff will be in the description. If you actually read the description, I don't think anyone actually... So, we can create tension without EDM drum cliches, but how? The first way is the most obvious, and that is we're teasing what's to come. I pretty much split this whole drop arrangement into, well, this response riff, and then I resampled this kind of call. It's all parallel. But you don't have to reuse the same sounds, even. You could keep the same rhythm or the same melody, but use any instrument you want for more contrast. That brings me to, well, contrast, right? We don't want this drop just full-on bass the whole time. That wouldn't make for a very good build, I don't think. But what I did is use this filter here, have it opening over time, and this reverb here, just to make it different, a little less in your face, impactful than this drive. So tease it, show some contrast, and also this opening over time gives it this kind of dynamic feel, like it's swelling up towards the climax. And you'll notice these traits are just reused across all the different basses, all the different risers, right? Resampled and with a little filter. Here's another filter rising around, controlling that tension. Here's a little dynamic feel. But you're probably wondering, how did I make these samples? Okay, they're all resamples. So I use this downbeat bass because I figured it was the best to use, because we're already teasing this bass a lot. Might as well get the different contrast. Okay, let's resample it. Resampling, solo our bass, hit record on our group, record. We have a bass now. Now this is a quite short hit. We can stretch it out though. Let's double click our warp. Oh, it's big now. And texture mode, this gets it consistent, but like kind of like weird and wonky. And in case it's not long enough, we can Control J, consolidate it, and stretch him again. And mess with the mode. You don't have to use texture, it just works well. And not only do you get this interesting like atmosphere or texture from the texture mode, I guess, but when it's in a clip, you can easily go to envelopes, open this little button, clip, transposition, and whoops, and use some classic pitch rising action. And for the dynamic feel, of course, we could just fade it and then auto filter him, ultimate dynamic, and blah, 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 blah. If the pitch rising gets a little too corny for you, just abstain from it, or you can use this reverse reverb trick. So get a reverb on what you want to sample, high decay, high dry wet. Let's resample him. Nice long tail on that bad boy, and it's called reverse reverb, so you can hit reverse. Ooh, I'm feeling so tense. And that's what I did here. It's really great because, well, it's a riser, has that dynamic feel, but it's also works with the bass when it hits. You know, it's the similar complementary texture, whatever. So yeah, feel free to extract and manipulate some samples. Just these few methods alone have a lot of possibility in them. To kind of compound all this stuff, little white noise riser, which follows a lot of the same principles. If we actually open it and look at it, please load, please load. Okay, it's here. We have Vital playing some lovely white noise. Thank you, Vital. And filters opening. different directions, make sure they're routed. The sampler is actually routed through the filter, and then filter 1 is routed to filter 2, just so you have the maximum amount of movement. And for bonus tension, I went in, added this auto pan. So what auto pan does is automates the volume up, the rhythm of it up. So we turn the amount up, phase down so it's mono, and you just automate away. Automate everything, do everything, do it all. You know, and even though we don't want to do the kind of blatant rhythmic drum build, you can incorporate that rhythmic tension in other more subtle ways. But that was on the smaller scale. Let's zoom out and just like slam it with Band-Aid solutions, okay? So my masters on track actually do sometimes look like this, because what all these effects can do is just create further contrast. For example, this utility can make this whole build mono, or it can get more mono right before the drop, and then it gets boom. So it's mono-y, then boom, stereo, super wide, get out of here, reverb, boom. Okay, I'm about to say boom again. I won't, I swear. Other neat tricks for that contrast, little cabinet, really anything to make it sound kind of garbage will make the drop sound fuller and hit harder. This is a fun one, the dynamic tube. If you just want to sound like the speakers are being destroyed. And of course, automate them within moderation. Redux, oh, it's all 8-bit, and then it's not 8-bit. And you know, for the extra pitch modulation, go crazy with the frequency shift. So it's not all about drums and cymatics riser samples. It's not even about banger drop vocals. You can create similar tension, in fact, more effective and definitely more subtle, just through clever use of filters and little washy effects. But if that contrast wasn't enough for you, please add a little pre-drop for me. For example, look how strong this pre-drop is. Very simple, no real buildy elements besides the contrast, but then watch. If it didn't have the pre-drop, it would be kind of lame and kind of suck. Just doesn't hit as hard. That last moment of the pre-drop, it's like the snowy top on the mountain peak you have just made your listener climb. It's like the icing on the metaphorical cake. And this might be news to you, but you don't need another corny pre-drop vocal there too. You know, if you want big drums and big pre-drop vocals, go for it. It's kind of slap sometimes. But at the end of the day, reverse reverb got me. Deep down, bro. That's like my boy. And if we jump back here, it's almost like kind of multiple components of the pre-drop. I have some stuff cut out right here, and then in the pre-drop, I even named it just pure silence, because what better contrast is there in like silence to like loudness? Think about it. But yeah, if you watch this video and come to me with cymatics riser number 4 and big doof 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 doof, I'll be a little disappointed, but if you execute it really well, I wouldn't really care. And the thing is, like, I could just go on here and add these drums anyway. Right? Sounds a little more cliche, but, you know, it worked perfectly fine without them. You know, don't use your drum risers as a crutch to messing with your arrangement, creating tension that way. All right, I think that covers it. I hope you can make a banger build now. If you want this whole project file, that's on the Patreon, as always. These presets, including the fatty basses, I know, are on there as well. Plus, yeah, thanks for 10K. That's insane. I don't know how to express it. But yeah, get that free sample pack and feel my gratitude. All right. Much love to you all. Join the Discord, join the flock. Just read the description. There's stuff in there. Peace the frick out. Like, comment, subscribe.